Hey guys, Lucas Green here, and it's finally time for the Q&A. Finally we're here. New environment with a piece of wood above me, which, oh well, complications, what can you do? Limited space around here, it's hard to find it. But yeah, we had some room changes and stuff. But nonetheless, Q&A finally here. Let's not waste any time and get through this for you guys. So, like always, I've got all the questions here. I got 10 comments. Some of those. Like I said, guys, I asked that you did 3 questions, and so you did. So, without further hesitation or ado, let's get through with all these questions. Starting off with Sun Sora. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing your name right. And he asked, let's see how many questions he asked. He asked 2 questions, and he said, "Do you like Kid Goku as a character?" I have watched a bit of the old Dragon Ball, and I believe I stopped at. I started watching Dragon Ball up to the Pilaf saga of him collecting the Dragon Balls. Then I got back into it to see the King Piccolo stuff because I wasn't really interested into the TN subplot or anything like that. But from what I saw, it's a nice start. I mean, he's pretty much the typical anime character we get nowadays, with like Naruto and Luffy and One Piece and all that stuff. But he's basically a younger version of that. But still, I enjoyed him for what he was. So yeah, do I prefer him over Adult Goku? But for what it's worth, he's basically fine. He doesn't really bother me in any sense. Nothing to that. Mind you, he does some inappropriate stuff, which if you know what I mean, you've seen Dragon Ball, yeah.
Hey, where do you put your balls?
Dragon Balls? Oh my gosh, where are they?
They're gone, they're gone, they're gone.
What? Get out of the way!
He's one of those kids. But yeah, let's move on. Question 2 from Sunsora says, "Who do you think would win in a fight between Shazam versus Lord Beerus?" Well, I didn't see... Did I see? I might have. Yeah, I did. I saw the death battle between Shazam and Captain Marvel, and then I've seen Lord Beerus, and I will personally say, just from my personal opinion, I would say Lord Beerus, because he's meant to be like a god, a destroyer of worlds, or something like that. So, unless Shazam is up to that level, I know he's rivaling a character like Superman, but I don't see Superman as a god. I mean, he's someone close to a god, but I don't consider him a god, if that makes any sense. So that's why I would say Lord Beerus is probably a bit stronger than Shazam. Or maybe a lot stronger, who knows. But I think Lord Beerus is stronger than Shazam. That's my answer. Moving on to the next person's question, and SVD decided to put his 3 questions in separate comments. Yeah, he did. So, what I'll do is, I'll just find SVD's questions and put them all in one section. And his first question, of course, is from SVD. He says, "How can I become a voice actor in the Linksy series?" Pretty much just text me, and if you have like a Gmail or something, or a Facebook, let me know, and we'll get in touch and we'll see what we can do for you. We'll make a character, probably. But there you go. I'm glad that you're interested, SVD. But yeah, moving on to his next question from SVD. He said, "What is your favorite video game?" Ooh. There's a lot of video games. I mean, it's hard to pick one off the top of my head, because there's so many games I like. I like Uncharted, I like Batman Arkham games, I like Red Dead Redemption 2, which I'm playing now. I like the Lego DC Superman, so I can make all these custom for you games. But if I was forced to put the back of the wall to pick a game, if we're talking about one game in particular, I would, as a game that you would play over and over and over again, so you wouldn't get bored of it, I suggest I probably would play Red Dead Redemption, probably. Red Dead Redemption 2, because as much as I enjoy playing the Uncharted and Arkham games and all that stuff, also Spider-Man's pretty cool too, Spider-Man PS4, that's great too. But for a good time waster, I like to. It's like you want to have a game that you always can do something. And if it's like a story game where you have to keep playing the story over and over and over again, it gets kind of boring at some points. So, based on that, I would say Red Dead Redemption 2, but Spider-Man PS4 is probably a close second. That's my opinion there. But yeah. Let's move on to his final question. Who is your favourite DC superhero? Simple answer, Batman. Can't argue with the guy. He's cool, he's badass, he's tough, he's gruel. He's everything we want. Well, he's considered Superman's rival, even though a lot of people says he can't beat Superman, which, to be honest, in my personal opinion, he can't, because obvious reasons are obvious. Even if he did have kryptonite on his hand, that's besides the point, but Batman's still a cool character. He's got the gadgets, he's got the badass brooding, and of course, he's got a badass dog called Ace, so what more is there do you need to know? And hey, he's got even Terry McGinnis on his side, so he's got Robin, he's got Batgirl, he's got one of the best villains with the Joker. I mean, what's not to like about this guy? He's the goddamn Batman.
I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman.
But there's my answer. Who is the best DC superhero? It's kind of obvious though. Because I agree with the majority. Or the Batman side, but people might argue that Superman might be better because he's more powerful. But I really don't think. Is really the most powerful? Stanley once said himself that he was sick of Superman because he was too goddamn powerful. And the closest thing we got to a character with dimension, anyway, I felt like, was Batman. I mean, there's other characters too, but that's just my opinion. Anyway, moving on to the next question. From the man known as the Joker, he says, "Who's the best Doctor?" As in Doctor Who. Now there are many great Doctors. At least over 14 of them now. I'm probably doing that wrong, but I think I'm right. A lot of people demand David Tennant. A lot of people demand Matt Smith, and there are a lot of people who demand Peter Capaldi, and there are a lot of people who demand Troy Baker. They're still on the fence about Jodie Whittaker because she's basically in the Captain Marvel zone where they're like, they're hard to decide where to put her. Some like her, some dislike her, some are in the middle. But when it comes to me, while David Tennant is a beast, while all these great Doctors are awesome, Matt Smith, Peter Capaldi, so on and so forth, even Troy Baker, awesome Doctors, there's just one Doctor that always gets the shaft. And you know what? For the fact that he gets the shaft all the time, I'm gonna put him as my favourite Doctor. So without further ado, this is my favourite Doctor Who.
Do you want to come with me? Because if you do, then I should warn you. You're going to see all sorts of things. Ghosts from the past, aliens from the future, the day the Earth died in a ball of flame. It won't be quiet, it won't be safe, and it won't be calm. But I tell you what it will be. I'll tell you what it will be. The trip of a lifetime.
Moving on to the next question. It's I believe we have need to check who's left. Don't know. Yeah. Isaac just says he's the first one here, so congratulations on that. Yeah. Next is the Raptor, always a good friend to me. He offered 3 questions, and he said these 3 questions. First question from the Raptor says, What do you think are going to be in the next few MCU movies following after Spider-Man Far From Home? Well, at the time he sent them, I didn't know, but obviously they're releasing Endgame much sooner than I expected, which is a big surprise to me. Normally they like to save the Avengers movies. Normally what they do is, before they release another Avengers movie, they have a few set-up movies to build it up more, you know. But where we're at right now, I mean, what are they going to do after Endgame? I would like to see a Black Widow movie. If I say 3 movies, yeah, Black Widow movie, do one for that. Maybe do one for Mark Ruffalo's Hulk, but you could also say, oh, he did the Incredible Hulk, and that's basically the same thing. So if we're not counting that, then, what what else could we do? We can't really. I think most of these franchises have done with a trilogy. Thor had a trilogy. Iron Man had a trilogy. Black Panther, you could do a sequel, I suppose, because he had like only one movie. What else? Spider-Man could have a trilogy, but we've already done a Spider-Man movie, so it would kind of be redundant. So maybe I wouldn't say Captain Marvel because after the bit with Backlash, give her a break a bit. Maybe Scarlet Witch. Nah, can't do Scarlet Witch because she's done in the Avengers. What else? Well, we don't need an origin story for a Winter Soldier. It's hard to think really because most of the Avengers are pretty much done. The only thing you can do for them is pretty much a sequel. So you have to ask yourself which character, apart from, I'm not sure why Black Widow never got her own solo movie, but she needs one. Other than that, though, one character does need a sequel movie, but I'm not really sure which one. But I know what movies have said that'd be nice. Black Widow movie, like I said, probably a Mark Ruffalo Hulk movie would be nice for the fans of Mark Ruffalo. And maybe, but like I said, you could argue that Incredible Hulk is his movie just with a different actor. But you know, it's just an idea. I can't really think of another movie. I mean, the best you could do, like I said, is a sequel to one of the Avengers. Maybe Vision gets his movie? Because Vision never had his own movie, but then again, does he really need one? Because there are some Avengers that are created during the Avengers, like Scarlet Witch and Vision and all that stuff. So it's hard to think of a third choice there. Unless you did like another Thor movie or something, I don't know. Moving on though. But you know, I guess before I move on to that next question, I should say, what are we going to do after Endgame? Maybe you could answer that in the comments for me, because I was going to say they could do a different Avengers movie, but really? What can they do? But yeah, like I said, I guess, oh yeah, wait. They could, of course, I know what they could do, I just got it. They do a Black Widow movie, a Mark Ruffalo movie, and of course Guardians of the Galaxy version 3, which is coming, so that makes sense to wrap up the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy. Anyway, moving on to the next question from the Raptor. He says, what series on my channel would you say gives you the most joy to make? Not necessarily which is the most successful series, but which do you enjoy producing the most? Easy peasy, the Lynxy series, because it's my great story I want to tell. Unfortunately, it doesn't get much praise because it's overshadowed by the LEGO DC Superman's custom builds, which I am still enamored by. But it would be nice to do that more often, but considering I'm trying to keep the views and subscribers going, I have to keep doing what the fans love. On the bright side, though, I still am putting out that content. I'm still trying to get it out, but it is harder, as you can tell. It's taking up much of my time, and it's hard to release videos to do such things. But for what it's worth, with more voice actors rolling in, I can say it's possible that it's coming back. And I've already done episode 6, and I am working on episode 7, which I will say is a title called A Feud Between Friends, which of course, if you've watched the series, you'll know it's against Lynxy and Viper, and their little debacle, their subplot, so there's that. But yeah, that's awesome, it's coming back, so hopefully it'll come out strong. Moving on now, to his final question from the Raptor. What did you think of the Captain Marvel movies? That being Captain Marvel and Shazam. I haven't seen those movies, so I wouldn't know. So there's your answer. Really, I can't really give one, basically, to your question, Garrett. Moving on now to Adam Ferns, and I believe he's the final one. Yes he is. So, Adam Ferns and his final 3 questions. What did he offer me today? Question 1. When will Series 5 of the Lynxy series continue? Well, it's already continuing by the time of this recording. It's episode 6 has been released a few seconds ago. But I do appreciate that the Lynxy series is starting to gain more positive feedback finally after its long overdue. But it's nice to see that that's coming back, so there's that. But I can guarantee the Lynxy series is coming back with more voice actors than I expected, and new characters awaiting, including Monkey King, Mylock the Minotaur, Apex, and all that stuff, so there's that. But yeah, and there's already loads of good plots in the works. Moving on to his second question. How many seasons of the Linksy series do you have planned? 20, there's your answer. Boom. I wrote 20 seasons in college, and I stopped there when I got out of college. So 20 seasons are planned for this series, and so far there's 5 in the work. Final question of the Q&A and of Adam Ferns is, do you have any other plans for the channel, etc., top 10s, rants? What else did he say? Did he say that? Yeah, top 10s, rants, blah blah blah. Yeah, I'm always open to new ideas. I mean, I am trying to revive some of my old playlists, like the DBZ bets, some rants maybe. Which I can tell you this: if you see my rant on Fortnite, I can safely say I finally deleted the game because I was just I've had enough of Fortnite. Enough of this supportment, advertisement shit, people forcing me to play it. And the only reason I kept it was because of that. So I finally got, you know, I got Red Dead Redemption. Who needs that Fortnite? I mean, more power to you if you like it, but I don't. So, yeah. But yeah, that's all the questions, guys, of the Q&A number 4. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like, comment, go, subscribe, like us, hit that notification bell button in the corner so you can stay in tune for LEGO DC Superman's custom builds and various amount of other content on this channel, including Q&As, DBZ bets, and of course the Linksy series, and of course the creme de la creme, my gem, the Linksy series. And next time on my channel, we'll continue with the Avengers of the not the Q&A, the Q&A's over, idiot. And next time, guys, we'll continue with the LEGO DC Superman's custom builds, and whatever awaits us on the channel. But you never know. I am trying to do the Linksy series, it's coming out in a slow pace. But surely we'll get the in there, like a little trail of breadcrumbs. Overall, though, thank you guys so much for your support on this. Thanks to you guys, I am now at 480 subscribers. It's all because of you guys. Your positive feedback really means much to this channel. Also, when it comes to Beast Quest related content, there will be a special video as I'm approaching book 100. And that will be all from the Q&A. Till next time, guys, I'll see you around. Till next time, peace.